welcome to Teachers Timeout, your go-to space for real talk when it comes to educational matters. I am Ivy Agogovia, and it's Ivy Agogovia on all social media platforms. Here with me on set today, I have three amazing educators. I'll start with the man in lemon. Please, let's get to meet you.
My name is Michael Undo, and I'm an educator, and I bear the same name, Michael Undo, on all my social media platforms.
You're welcome. You should be a pastor too. The lady in white.
Okay, I am Mabel Benafar. I'm a singer and an educator. And on my social media platform, I am Mabel Z2.
Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Let's meet the lady sitting right beside me.
All right, so my name is Praise Ukachuko. I am an educator and a therapist. My social media handle is Praise0147 at Instagram. It's nice to be here.
You're welcome, Ms. Praise. We're glad to have you back.
Thank you.
All right, the topic on the table is if teachers had a magic wand. I don't think I'm the only one in this WhatsApp group that has sat down to think of if only I had magical powers, but I wish I could change this. So I was talking to a teacher and she said that she wishes that if she had a magic wand, just at one flick, immediately she finished teaching a particular concept that the children just grab it. She doesn't need to start explaining and re-explaining and explaining again. If you had a magic wand, Ms. Benafa, what will you do? What would you like to change in your classroom?
Okay, if I had a magic wand, I will cast a spell
A spell!
to take away the fear of failure, because a lot of children have that thing in them, that
Okay.
fear, like they are not good enough, especially the slow learners. They look at the very bright ones and then they
You feel
like, oh,
intimidated.
they're intimidated that I can't be like this person. I think I spoke to a child one day, like, oh, on Thursday is Thursday morning math. Are you going to get 100%? Say no, I am not Kosi. Sorry to mention the name. I am not this person. I can't get 100%. I'm like, no, you're looking down on yourself. Like, you see, I don't know if you get my point.
Okay.
She was already looking down on herself. She just feel like she's not good enough. She can't make it, no matter how hard she studied. So I try to talk her out of it. So if I had a magic wand, I will cast a spell to take a little fear from some children and just make them feel confident about themselves, that they are capable to do anything when they set their mind on it. Yeah.
Okay. Miss Praise, if you had a magic wand, what would you like to change in your classroom?
Abracadabra. Abracadabra. I think I would actually work in the class management.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, we teachers, it's not like all days that we have that energy for these
Yeah.
kids. So I think the moment I'm just coming to the class, abacadabra, everywhere is silent. Like I just want every child to just stay focused, no noise making. I don't have to start telling them bubbles in your mouth.
Yeah, keep quiet.
Abacadabra, there's bubbles everywhere. So I feel I actually use that for my
my
class
goodness.
management because oh my goodness, that's a whole lot.
Exactly.
Like aside teaching, aside marking, home phone, communication book, and
Yeah.
all of that, the class management. So the moment I'm just seated, abacadabra, abacadabra.
I can relate. I can relate.
So I actually feel I'll use that for my class management. Oh my goodness.
All right, Mr. Michael, are you on the abracadabra side?
Somehow, my own is prestigitation to make things work. Anyway, well, looking at the realistic educational system, there is something that I find worrisome
Okay.
whenever I'm in the class. And I always desire to have the power to be able to incorporate an all-inclusionary or an inclusionary learning
Okay.
in the classroom
Magical
where
powers.
everybody will have equal intelligence, they can comprehend what you're teaching them, no dyslexic person, nobody with dysgraphia, nobody with dyscalculia. You have everybody just there and you're talking, they are comprehending, because sometimes it gets abysmally frustrating when
Yeah.
you are in the class and you're talking,
And if you're not careful, you start screaming yourself
and somebody
and use
doesn't
yourself.
understand, sometimes it
Overwhelming.
mentally devastates you. So if I have that power, I would just create a scenario where everybody will have equal intelligence and then learn in the
Okay.
class.
I
That's
think
my
he would
take
need
on
more
it.
than one magic wand.
Oh, yeah. Because people just dysgraphia,
Do you understand? There will be abracadabra for dyslexia, for every.
5 1 to that.
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay.
Seriously.
All right. So what about talking about your class size? Do you think will you need a magic wand for that class size? Because there are some schools like the class size is it makes it difficult for classroom management, like you said.
Yeah.
So
Like you said, it depends on the class size.
okay.
Some schools, the maximum number of children can be 10, can be 15.
Yes.
But if I should work in a public space where I have 20, I think I'll need like 5 magic wands. Or 20 or 40. No, 20 is not, it's small, like 40.
Yeah, there's classrooms like that you have
Yeah.
up to 40.
Huh.
30
Oh
something
my
even.
God. Like when you go to the front is quiet. When you go to the back, the front becomes noisy.
Yeah.
You get it?
I can relate with that.
I think I would actually use the magic wand to keep them busy.
Busy.
Yes. Maybe I'll use it to like make this group. Just give them like a reading quiz, and then I use like you said, the front and the back, because that's true. When you're in the front,
It's
please
true.
keep quiet before you
Quiet.
turn. The people at the
Yeah.
back are already talking,
Yeah.
and then you cannot shout. So the magic wand,
We
oh
do
my
this
goodness.
shouting
See,
for you.
I think we need to get that for real. We need to bring that into reality. That magic one thing. But parents will say you are cajoling their children, so they don't want that.
then I'll use it on them tonight.
Oh, parents, yeah, we're getting to that. Oh my God. So let's look at our profession now. Like,
Okay.
I've been taught for 19 years. I've seen there are lots. I think there are lots of aspects that teachers will want to. I think the classroom is even better if you want to choose. Where if you have an option to pick, okay, you just have one magic wand. You see that you use it for your classroom or you use it to change things in your profession. Which will you pick? Like you don't like you're only liable to pick one.
Should I talk about my profession?
Oh,
because since you are giving me 2 options, I think when you talk about changing my profession, then you start considering, there's this basic motivation everyone looks up to in their profession. Like when I say basic motivation, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The salary.
Seriously, that is the basic motivation.
Yeah.
So if you're in a profession where you need more and you have a magic wand, oh my God, what will you do? For what I will do, I'm going to use that magic wand to change it. Yeah, I'll definitely change it.
Because if you have more salary, you probably will like, okay, I don't mind managing this class. I don't mind Chelsea.
Excuse me. Like, give me 10 dyslexia and 10 dyslexia. I will handle them. Somebody motivation is there. I will handle them.
Mr. Michael.
Yeah, I think his idea resonates with
Okay.
my thoughts. In my opinion, the teaching profession is a noble profession. There is no problem about that.
True.
So the only thing I will do if I have a magic wand is to improve on the welfare of the teacher, because the emotional stability of the teacher matters
Yeah.
a lot in classroom management, in teaching and tutelage, and in passing information to the children. Imagine when somebody is not properly motivated and maybe came from home and he was not even able to gratify his family or gratify the immediate family needs, and he imports that frustration to classroom. He's going to rain all the frustration on the children. And when they're
Simultaneous equation.
in fact, you can
Understand it or not?
You're always speaking on science teacher than mathematics teacher.
Because I feel it
it becomes mountainously worrisome. So, and then it will not be very helpful for healthy learning. So
Yeah.
I think it will. So if that is controlled, that will now further curtail the detrimental ramifications, of poor learning.
We have a
system.
grammarian here.
I'm about to give you that's okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
Poor learning
Right,
system in
right.
classroom. So you see where teachers are teaching and smiling. Yes, come on, hey, get on. You look good today. How are you? Hey, that kind of thing. It enlivens the class and creates more animation and pizzazz in your teaching technique.
Okay. So if you have a magic wand, what will you magically add to the curriculum to make learning more meaningful for your students?
Yes, create a skill-based learning and not a theoretical-based learning. Reduce on theoretical-based learning and focus more on skill-based
Okay,
learning.
that's hands-on.
Yes,
Yeah,
hands-on
hands-on
learning, hands
activities.
craftsmanship, and
Okay.
all that. So I think that's what I will do.
Okay. But some teachers find it that some teachers in their discipline, like licensed social studies, some topics, they find it difficult to do that hands-on stuff. Can we give them creative ideas or come up with something?
Well,
Government teachers.
yeah, there are so many things they can do. For me, for a government teacher, you take a child on an excursion on how a good policy can be passed to law, how what
Okay.
it takes to think about solutions to problems of the society, because education is all about solving problem solving. Of course, we already know that the endemic problem we have in Nigeria today is leadership problem somehow. And then when a child begins at an early stage or from a cradle, you begin to teach a child to be solution minded and oriented, such a child will now start saying, okay, if I bring this to law, if I'm a senator today, if I'm a legislator, what will I bring? What kind of policy will I make? What will I eradicate? What are the things that are not supposed to be operational in the society? And what are those things that are supposed to be exterminated? So it prompts the child to think and
Okay.
think effectively. So to me, if they begin to import that kind of excursion in a system, especially in government and all that, I think it will help their skill,
Okay.
problem solving skill
All right.
that is
So it
societally
means
based.
that for in a term, the teacher has to do like more than one excursions, right?
Yeah.
But does
Depends.
our curriculum does it really give us that room?
Yeah.
Yes, that's why they need to come. That's why I need that magic wand to make it work.
Right? I
Yeah,
get.
true. And it will really the transfer of knowledge will definitely be complete when they do that excursion and they do some hands-on
Activities.
activity on it.
Yeah.
You know, when you ask the child a question in the examination, the thing the child will remember first is their excursion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with that, the child will be able to write. Because I think for me, it's very difficult when I'm writing the exams. You want to start remembering all those letters in the textbooks and everything. So when you can add a scenario to it, it really helps a complete transfer of knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I wanted to add something to it. When we say excursion, they have to understand that you necessarily do not have to leave the
The
school.
school.
Yes, you can
Yeah.
actually do that in the school compound. For example, there was a time I had to, because I actually take humanities, and we
Okay.
needed to do something on planting of trees.
Okay.
So I already gave them like the theoretical aspect of it. We talked about it in class, but it was something we did. I actually had to speak to the DHOS, and they approved funds. I got plants, I got the equipment I needed. And then on a particular day, I told these learners, wear green, put on green. We came out, we planted these trees in school, like flowers. And it was amazing because in as much as I had to tell them the stages of transplanting these trees from the nursery bed to the soil and all of that, it helps them to recall these things because they were there, they did it, we took pictures. So I feel you do not have to go out of the school, because now we're talking about government schools. They might really not have that fund
The
to
fund,
actually do
yeah.
that, because we're looking at their numbers. In
Yeah,
government school,
yeah,
they have
that's
more
true.
population.
Yeah,
How many
true.
school buses would they need to actually take these children to where they're taking them to? But if the educators are ready, something that, not really, but
I know
I
where you're
feel
going
most
to.
educators from the government school, they have this lackadaisical attitude.
Yeah,
Like
that's
they are
true.
not ready. They are just there
Yeah.
because nobody's
Be
watching them.
motivation.
Do you understand? Nobody's watching
Motivation.
them. But if they are ready, they
Yeah.
can actually come out of the classroom,
Yeah,
sit.
do more.
Do you understand? Then teach. I feel it's going to help. Then, in as much as we still want to use our
Word.
but like you should be ready. Do you understand?
So I think that's what brings
That's
me to that
peculiar.
saying that goes, an effective teacher there's more than he or she is being paid
Paid
for.
Yes.
Because if you do according to what you're paid for, that means you're not really doing your job.
That's true.
Most times you go out of your way for the love and the passion you have to impact in those children. You just go out of the way to do a lot of things.
Do you actually think an educator can actually be paid?
No,
Seriously, I don't think so.
I
Because
think it's a charity work. We're working hand in hand with Mother Teresa. We're doing this thing not because how much do you think they can
but you
pay
have a point,
you to
yeah.
actually
Yeah.
teach these children.
And there are lots of things you even do that your school owners are not saying. Sometimes you want to
Oh
cancel.
my goodness.
I
You
want
go
to
the
the
extra
place they tell
mile.
you your reward is in heaven.
It's not in heaven.
Posterity will reward you. That was the word. And I'm like, posterity, please come now.
It will start now.
And teaching doesn't end in the classroom.
No,
as a
it
teacher.
doesn't.
When you get home, as you're walking on the street, your brain, you're
You are
thinking
thinking
of
of how you
different
want to
ways
teach this
to impact
lesson.
these children's lives. Seriously, so it's a whole lot. That's why as a teacher, you're a counselor.
Yeah.
You're a
You're a
parent.
doctor, you're a parent. You just have to, no, there's a lot of things in
A
there.
lot.
So,
Okay, let's look at policies.
policy.
Still on the abracadabra. Okay, magic wand, also known as abracadabra.
And prestidigitation.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
All right. So I was talking to the teacher, talking about policy, and she said that she would love to change the policy that has to do with don't flog the child. But for me, I wouldn't want to change that. I feel initially when I started teaching, right, the first school I worked at had that policy.
Okay.
I was like, you know, when you are used to something, you're like, what the heck? The Bible says you spare
Spoil the child. Spoil the child.
But then I later found that as I continued there in that particular place, that it actually saves you as a teacher, because the way you discipline your child now, I can discipline my child that way, and nobody will ask me questions. But you might do it to another person's child, and they will read some meanings to it. So for me, I feel she was saying she would like to change that, and we're arguing. I'm like, okay, but for me, I wouldn't want to change that. What do you guys think?
Personally, if I have a magic wand, why would I want to flog a child? Why would I want to spank you?
No, we're talking about changing the policy.
Changing the policy.
Teachers should be flogging.
That is what I'm saying. If I have the wand, why do I need to flog you? Abracadabra, abracadabra, abracadabra. Keep quiet. That's all. Behave well. You already like. I feel personally.
Do you know this thing she's saying is actually is going in line with your head?
Because I feel personally, that policy has actually saved us.
My thoughts
a
too.
lot.
Yeah.
I actually heard of a school. A teacher spanked a child and the child died.
Really?
Yes. It went.
Wow.
It happened in Nasarawa State.
No, I
It
didn't
was
hear
all over
about
the
that.
news. That was years ago. Spanked the child. The child had like swollen bruises and all of that. In a boarding school.
Oh, okay.
So and the child actually died. The parents started suing and all of that. So I actually feel, yes, in as much as we feel the policy it's stressing us as educators, because the time I would used to tell you, keep quiet, keep quiet. By the time I just give you one, all your blood pressure, everything will calm down. But on the second thought, there's something I always say: spanking a child actually teach that child.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because there are some learners that they get so hardened.
Yes.
And the moment, in fact, before you even complain, they'll say,
Yeah.
just flog me, let me go to my seat, because everything you're saying now is just entering his ears and coming out. So I actually feel I wouldn't want to change the policy on flogging.
Okay.
I would use the wand to actually renovate my kids. Let me use that word. Renovate their life, modify their behaviors, because all these bad behaviors. It's because maybe something happened. They won't talk about it. At that point, as a teacher, I want to focus, and you're making noise. You're distracting me. I would just use the wand to correct all those things instead of using it to flog a child, because flogging that child, you're not teaching the child anything.
Not at all.
You're just making that child get used to that particular kind of discipline, and it's not going to work. How long do you want to flog a child?
Now you talk about modified behavior. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Modifying behavior.
Yeah.
I think I went to a school, and I think I told the head there that sometimes we wait for children to err and then we discipline them. They do err because they don't know what
The right step to take.
Thank you. You get it. So when you put some measures in place,
Yeah.
and you put some reward and consequences,
Yeah, it might help to ease your work.
it helps them to manage their behavior.
Yeah.
And that happens a lot in public schools. No instruction is given as that. The only instruction is just academics.
Yes.
I'm not saying they don't give instructions, please pardon me on that, but what am I trying to say? There are times where this sticker works a lot in the class. The sticker you give, the best behaved, the best dressed, the best, they look forward to it, and you see them, they just automatically they are behaving well, except for some exceptional ones that will never do that.
That is where we use our word.
And you know what? And the sticker also, it depends on the age, right? What about when we are looking at children from year 7? That's
Oh.
JS1, year 8, and all that. How do we?
Okay.
What
For
are the
me-
measures we can
For
put?
me, permit me to take a dichotomous view,
Oh, yeah.
that is different from
We give
what
it to you
everyone
on grammar.
expects.
Oh my
Yes.
God!
So let me take a dichotomous view. from me.
Right answer. We're here
Yes.
to listen.
For me, sometimes when I go back to that nostalgic moment where
my
we
goodness.
have we as growing children, the way we were brought up.
Yeah.
Look at us today, people from the 90s, 80s. You see, we are product of discipline. And there are things, the consequences of flogging makes us want to do the right thing. You understand? So though sometimes some teachers then or educators tend to maybe overdo
Yes.
in most cases, but it really helped. Now, if I were to take a stance on whether the policy should be unmade or the policy to be consolidated, I will go for it to be consolidated, but in moderation. Now, this is the methodology I would like to apply. If you want to flog a child, most times, take it away from that teacher, because sometimes you may not be emotionally stable. That's when you overreact and belabor on the child so hard that maybe you might injure the child. Now, if a child does something, there should be an administrator of a school, a disciplinarian, where you take that child, hand over that child to that disciplinarian in the school and said, this is what this child did, or this is this child's offense. Now, that disciplinarian is already emotionally stable. He doesn't have any personal contact with that child. He's not in the class with that child. He doesn't know anything about that child. No sentiments or whatsoever. So the man will objectively, the disciplinarian will objectively look at the situation and then take time and then, belabor on the child a bit. And let me tell you something about them. These children, we call them in the local palace or in a slang, Ajabota children. Because they know they don't flog them.
Yes.
A little spank matters to them. If you just raise that kid, hey,
They are begging.
please,
Yes.
I will not do it again. I beg you in the name of God. Sometimes you can just scare them. And maybe the beating is not too much. You just bring them there and do one or two things. I think that's not too much to keep at our school level, because the indiscipline is becoming highly worrisome and indiscriminate. And we need to put this thing in check. And that's one of the reasons why sometimes teachers are finding it difficult to impart knowledge in a child. Because sometimes some of them have come to that, they have that nudge of consciousness that nothing will happen now. Nothing will happen.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it not to shout and all that? So I will want us to go back and have a renaissance of that discipline level.
Please say that grammar again.
Renaissance.
I'm on point.
Of that disciplinary level where these things come back, but in moderation.
Okay.
In moderation, in moderation. Maybe you take it away from the person that was directly offended and then take it to a neutral person to handle. I think the educational system will be smooth. And then, in order to further, improve on the system, I think we should import back what we call community engagement kind of learning, where parents, religious leaders, teachers, everybody are carried along to bring up a child. All those people will be used as a point of, reference. Like, let them be involved. Those days when we were growing up, like I said, Everybody trains a child.
Of course.
Even when you hit a child when he does something and the mother knows about it, the mother will say, okay, you did it. What did he do? He did it. The mother will stand in the presence of that person and say, And you see that children, they all know that everybody is watching. They tend to behave better. So please, for me, that's the way I think.
Okay,
it
I
should
wanted to
go.
say
Thank you.
something.
Sorry,
The
let me
parents,
chip in.
right?
Exactly.
The parents of
Parents,
now.
yeah, I was going there.
Back then, our parents, they were actually raised well.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel most of the parents we have are actually Gen Z
And you have
parents.
James. I was going to
Do
say
you
that you have
understand?
James.
People that actually lived abroad. In the whites, they don't spank children.
Yeah.
They believe they believe in talking to this child and helping the child change.
We are
So
Africa.
if you yes, but you can't
need
take that
to
away
be
from
treated
them
hard.
because
We
they
are
are living
hard.
in Nigeria. So if you have to change that policy, I actually feel there will be lots of withdrawals from schools because most parents, if I've met a parent that said she came for inquiries and she asked, do they spank in this school? And they said no. She said good, because the day a teacher will spank my child, one, I will pick that
teacher.
they will pick you.
Get arrested.
Do you understand? And some even threaten to close down the school. So how many heads of schools would want that to happen in their schools?
But that's
Business
choice.
must
That's
go
choice
on,
differentials anyway. I call
Okay.
it choice differentials. I have somebody from my school, the previous place I taught. The parent deliberately came to withdraw the child. Reason that no discipline.
Okay.
Yeah, I've
That
seen that too.
in their house they discipline their children, but when their children came, they became they became worse than how they were at home, and the things they learned. So they now saw that over latitude, laxity, recklessness, and the children were degenerating and becoming disagreeably decadent in
Take it
nature.
easy on us.
So
Oh my God.
the man said, please, we can't continue.
next teacher.
We can't continue with this kind of
You don't
thing.
understand what
I
we're saying.
want to.
They will relate.
I want.
Sometimes you have a dictionary while listening
Do you
to this
understand?
podcast.
AI, please translate what Mr. Michael is saying. Okay.
So that's why I said it's choice differential. Some
Yeah.
parents like Jesus, we still have good parents.
And that's true.
We still have good
I think
parents.
they should just check
Yes.
for the school.
You just check for the
Just check
schools
for
that
the
do that.
school.
Like I told you, if they do it in moderation,
Yeah.
I think those people will not have problem, especially when it's not the teacher
Okay.
who the child offended
Yes.
is punishing the child.
Yeah, I
Remember,
think I
that's
like
what I
that.
said.
Disciplinary.
Taking it
Yeah.
to a disciplinary panel to handle. I don't think any parent will have any problem with that.
Okay.
Because some parent might start having some kind of lopsided perspective that this teacher hates my child.
child.
That's why he belabored on my child in the way I don't like. Or they might just bring up one kind of unsubstantiated allegation
I get
for
it.
the
I
reason
get
why
it.
they do what they are doing. So for reason of being safe, take it to a neutral person who will objectively appraise what you are complaining of that child and handle the child. If the parent, and there's a stage it will get to, the parents will be invited.
Okay, so this neutral person you're talking about, should the person be a teacher, or are you saying they should have a disciplinarian that is
Committee, like a committee
That's-
in the school or something.
among the teachers, or
Yeah.
or is it just that duty is dedicated, like you are only here to discipline or counsel or do something?
Anybody can be used.
Yeah.
No, I think some schools they do take children like that to the counselor. Some
Yes,
schools
yes,
have
that's
a
what I'm about to
guidance
say.
and counseling
Guidance and
unit.
counselor unit.
Yes, the guidance and
Okay.
counseling
Who
unit
do-
handles that.
Yes.
Some schools have disciplinary
Some
committees
principal,
for both teachers
Okay.
some
and
HOS, some principal,
Both teachers
some
and teachers.
HOS.
Yes.
Anybody can be
Some
given.
schools.
Why that guidance and counseling unit is very, very appropriate for some schools is because they will also want to counsel the child.
Yes.
You know, not just
Punishing the
Punish
child
at that moment.
directly.
They will
Yes.
counsel the child and they'll also monitor the child's behavior when
Yes.
they report.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's another way
And do a
that-
follow up.
Thank you.
Yes,
Follow up.
you see, that's
So
fine.
I
That's
think
All right.
I think schools need to start putting that unit or department in their. It may still be the teachers, or I don't know, maybe some persons, or maybe
Yes.
non-academic staff that may just be in charge, give
Okay.
them some instruction on how to go about it. It
No.
really
Okay.
help them.
Yeah.
So
that's
and
my
going back to what we're saying, I also feel that the policy should be such that maybe there should be like, if you know yourself as a teacher,
Okay.
like let's say if we want to go with flogging, you know why I'm saying that? So back then when I was teaching secondary school, I don't know, if I hold a cane, I can flog like 50, and it feels like it's 5 strokes I've taken.
Hey,
I'm serious.
Jeez.
But men looking at me, you will not know. So then,
dispenser. Oh my goodness.
I'm serious. I'm telling you a true life story, right? So then I'm not giving
Hey,
birth.
this type of people they used to arrest.
No one.
I'm serious.
So you're in my
why-
party. So we can't change
So
the
back
policy.
then, there was this day I went to the cafeteria to buy something. It was a secondary school. So I just heard someone saying, I'm going to tell Auntie Ivy, Auntie Ivy, you know those days, Auntie Ivy, all those things. I'm going to tell Auntie Ivy to buy me snacks. When I said, hey, don't try it. Oh. I was listening to the conversation. They didn't know. So they now braced up and walked up to me. And I like, okay, I now bought. Then I went to tell the other class. I now noticed that they were scared of me, SS1. It was SS1. I didn't like the fact that they were scared of me. So I had to tell myself, oh, Ivy, you're not going. That's why up till now in my house, I don't use cane on my children. The highest I can use my hand to spank them, but I don't use cane because I know myself. Like if I hold it, I will flog 20. I will think it's 2 I'm giving you. Do you get? So I think if you want to go by the policy, you as a teacher, you know yourself. Don't
It even
do
keeps
that.
you withdrawn from your kids.
Mhm.
Because like
Yeah.
fear.
They fear. They'll be
They'll be
scared.
scared of you. Something can be happening in your classroom and
you
no
don't
one
know.
would be able to talk to you about it. And then maybe one other teacher that they are free with, they will
Yeah.
now talk to the teacher. And now this is the head of school asking me as a class teacher, please, how is this happening in your class? And you don't
And
know
you don't.
why.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
how do you explain it? Because these children are scared
of me?
Do you understand? So like we said, you're supposed to be a mother. Correct these children with love. Instead of like a move.
Well, that's true. But
there are times you get to
yeah, you just have to equilibrate the treatment.
to be a
This
balance.
one, you will finish
At
your
equilibrium.
grammar
I know that one.
Yes.
Well,
You have to
at the
equilibrate
equilibrium
the
point.
treatment.
Balance.
Don't allow yourself to be stereotyped to be too harsh, too hostile. Don't allow yourself to be stereotyped to be too lenient.
Yes.
You just balance it. Sometimes you
firm.
smile.
Yes.
Even when you say something to a
yes.
child, you're like, come, I did this
Yes.
because
Yeah.
you did something wrong. Not as if I have any problem with it. Okay, you are my
Yes,
friend and other
yes.
things. So sometimes
They
you
need
can
to be an
devise other.
explanation.
Yes,
Let them know what they
expla-
did wrong.
Once you do it, your children will love you in spite of the punishment
Yes.
punishment you give to them. Make them understand. Don't allow them see you in a pattern. This person is so hard. I know this person is thief,
Very
so that they will be
rigid.
scared
And
of
don't
you
keep
and all
going
that.
back to the person's mistake.
Mistake,
that's
you
once
move
you correct
on.
something,
Yes,
just
and
leave
that's
it
you
there.
just let it
Not
go.
tomorrow. You say it's not you that yesterday.
Yeah,
Then next tomorrow you then before yesterday. every time.
Till you enter last
Oh my
year.
God. So I feel just correct.
right.
Just correct.
Move on from it.
Move on
Like,
and all that.
know that when you are happy with them,
Yes,
you're happy with them. When you're angry
genuinely.
with them, you're angry with them.
Yeah.
That's
But
just
there's a
it.
child that, my birthday, she brought a cake, and the mother said she told the mom what to write. I was surprised. Careers that you see they should style her hair as Mrs. Benafar's hair. She wants to be like Mrs. Benafar. And when they told me, I was like, really? Someone that I'm always on her case. Like I
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
I'm always on her. Do you
Yeah, I
understand?
get lots of
Answering.
love
And
messages.
I was like, I discipline. I say
They know
discipline,
what-
not
they
like,
know when
I
they're
don't
wrong.
discipline like
They know when
spanking,
they're
but I'm
wrong.
always on her. I scold her a lot and all that. But yet, when the mother was telling me, he was like, what have you done to my daughter? I said, nothing.
Some even act like you at home.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So
I
you
have
said she
one.
loved me.
He will draw me on a
despite
piece
the
of
whole
paper.
stuff.
You draw me and say, I love you, Miss Praise. He even told me to take me out of the country. So even the father he said, what do you do to my child? Because other educators are actually complaining. I had to even talk to them. I'm like, this boy is actually intelligent, just that behavioral. He doesn't play like a kid. You can be standing here, we poke you. He will put his leg for you
And
to
it's not
fall down,
fair.
and then he's laughing.
Are
So
you
I know
serious?
he's actually joking, but I've told him countless times, I want you to play like a child.
Like a child.
Do you understand? So your friends will not run away from you. So you know all these things. When
You
you
like it when you correct them.
do you understand?
Yeah,
When you
and
like
you know
correct
they're
them,
doing
when
wrong.
you're
In
serious,
love.
they should know that you're serious. And when you're joking, you should joke with them so that they
Yeah.
will know that you're actually a safe space.
Yeah.
They can actually come to when they need something.
You're
Yeah.
right.
So
You're right.
that will
I
work.
have similar experience too. There's this child I can never forget his name. Ebuka. I don't know if Ebuka will watch this. He's an adult now. Okay. He if there's any child I give punishment, like I hate it when you don't copy my notes. I think it was in SS1 too, right? Or SS2 then. This boy. Later I was like, oh, I'm not flogging this boy. Then in the school, you could tell them to cut grasses. You could tell them to wash toilets. So his own. 1 week, this boy is washing toilets. I'm serious. He will become a professional toilet washer.
Oh my God.
That's skill acquisition.
You understand?
A very good janitor.
When you go into the labor market like this now, you just start finding toilets you want.
But guess what happened? Guess what happened? There was this day, it was International Women's Day. He came to me, he gave me a book. I don't know whether it's Joyce Meyer, but it's a book for women. And he said, Auntie Ivy, I just want to give you this book. I'm like, how did you get it? He says, my mom, I think his mother is into women ministry, so he got the book. He said, I just want to give it to you. I know that I used to make you angry, I used to offend you. I promise to change. I'm very sorry, Auntie Ivy. So that day I just felt like, you feel like it's as if
cold water.
exactly.
And you were not expecting it from the
I
child
was
because you
not
always
expecting it from
discipline
a
that
at
child.
all. Like not from any other person, but
Not
not from
him.
that boy. Like I was like, oh my goodness. So they know. All right, we are wrapping up now, but I don't think this episode will be complete if we don't talk about using the abracadabra on parents. Why are you saying?
I think you should start on
Linda
that
Boski
one.
on that one.
Linda Boski.
Linda Boski on that one might finish because children
Endless.
you can actually make a child the way you want. But
Okay.
an adult,
With a mind of
in
her
fact,
own.
the moment you hold one abracadabra, you're using this one, you're using that one, because you need. Oh my goodness, where do you want to start from? Because I actually feel parents now. Do we want to talk about those parents that do not aid their kids in actually doing their
Their
homework,
work.
or the ones that come to school late, or do you want to talk about the ones that are always complaining? We just finished our graduation, and a particular parent is asking me, why did my child take an award home? That is the one I'll use. Abracadabra, abracadabra, abracadabra. Because I was now asking myself, like, don't these parents know that we actually use results in making this? Like accumulative results to actually ascertain the child that will be going home with. So you know the place your child is. And you are asking me, why is your child not taking? In fact, this time we actually did, other times when we give grade, there is a project score like 5 marks. We just give them so that, to just enable the result. But this particular time, I was like, no, I wouldn't give a child that actually went home to do this project. I'll give you 5. And then someone that went to the beach, I had a child that, I went to the beach. Why didn't you do your project? I went to the beach. You went to the beach. Okay. So I gave 2 points. And now
That's fair enough.
Do you understand? Now you asking me why your child is not there. Maybe they want me to really use this abracadabra. I don't understand. So, in discipline, I feel I would use my wand on parents for discipline. I will still use the one for punctuality. I will still use home fun. That is like a very strategic.
Yeah.
In fact, the moment I'm casting a spell, I'm casting another one. Do you understand? Because there's some parents that they will tell you, I don't have that time.
Yeah, that's
we
true.
have parents like that. They will tell you, I don't have that time. And then you get to think, ma, you are not the one I'm giving home fun. It is actually your child. But when you're telling me you do not have that time, then what is the child doing? And most times, personally, before I give home fun in my class, I actually explain it. If I'm going to teach you, give you something, okay, there was a time I actually thought about transportation in the past and now. We spoke about it in the class. We identified the means of transportation in the past, now. And then in your home fun, I'm actually asking you, draw one means of transportation. I'm not looking for perfection. I just want to see you do it. And then you went home for midterm, a week, and then you came back. What if you told me I don't have pencil?
Of course, we used to hear a lot like that.
You talk to your mom about it. My mom says she does not have time. I say, okay. So when I use that one on parents, oh God, when they see me, they will run for your life. So I actually feel I'll use very well on them.
All right, Mr. Michael.
Yeah, for me, I will use my magic wand to have a cooperative and understanding parent.
Please break the English so that the parents will get what you're saying.
A parent who will have the gamut of all
said
principles, gamut of principles, all the listening skills, has humility, and also had some level of objectivity in
Okay.
terms of looking into
Mr. Michael, the
issues.
gamuts, the parents will need to know what that means. It's a collabo.
That's
I
the
want to say
totality. The
totality.
totality.
Okay.
Yes, the totality. That's
Yeah.
what I have to say. So, they need to, that kind of parents, that's the kind of magic wand I need. When you have those kind of people, you feel happy on the job. Nobody feels happy when you're trying your best and somebody just comes from anywhere and begin to caterwaul about your work and feel you are not doing well, this one, that one, and at the end of the day, it dampens your a level, it dampens your competence, it dampens your confidence level, it dampens
Your
your
self-esteem.
your self-esteem, your passion for what you are doing. I think if I have that magic wand, I will put that in check and have that kind of parent. In that way, that will levitate my spirit and my courage and affinity and proclivity to act better than where I am. Yes.
Ms. Benafa.
Do I have anything to say? Because I think you said it all.
Okay.
Okay. If I had a magic wand to welcome my parents, I will. Okay, I want a parent that are very appreciative, because there are times where you really do a lot. You go out of your way for these children, and sometimes it feels like some responses you get from them, it feels like you're doing nothing. So that's one. Another one is, I would like to use the magic word on parent that you've passed an information. They will still come back and ask you that same
That's
I'm
information.
telling you.
That same message. Like, you already give an instruction, maybe on the platform, or you send the message home, and somebody will say, oh, are we going to put on yellow today? Ah, I didn't know. I'm like, Mom, it's in the platform. Can you check it? I checked it and she saw the message. But,
Yeah.
sometimes they I don't know, probably they get too busy and
Sometimes we won't blame them. The economy is not smart.
yeah, I understand. That's why I said probably I need a magic word to make it possible. So
yeah.
yeah, that's all. They pray so much. Every other thing.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Ms. Benafa. We hope we've been able to pass out a very important message in this Abracadabra episode. We'd like you to share your thoughts in the comment section. Please like and follow us on our social media platforms. See you in our next episode. Bye.